Hey guys, what's going on? So I was overly excited about doing this video, and I guess it feels like a video that I would have done like a long time ago, and I've never done one, and so I guess now is the time. And this is definitely going into guides for anybody that watches my guides. How to YouTube. So this is a very, very basic overview of how I YouTube, I've suggested it to a lot of different people over the course of time. I will continue suggesting it to a lot of different people for both positive reasons and negative reasons. I'll go into the negative reasons first, and then I'll go into the positive reasons. Sometimes some people have a very strong opinion about either my thoughts or the game itself, and sometimes it pushes into territory where it feels like they're talking to me in a like condescending, like I don't know what I'm talking about type way. I got this a lot when I was doing like tier lists, and people would like write into a tier list and they would be like, like this is a trash tier list. Make a better one. Do this better. You're just completely wrong. And, like, I don't know what your trash opinion is. And, like, whatever, like that type of aggression. And I'll normally be like, oh, okay. Yeah. You're totally right. You should start YouTube and create your own channel. And, you should do that. And, everybody will love your opinion about the tier list in your completely correct tier list that you create. And I'm sure everybody will agree with everything that you say, because that's like the nature of YouTube. Like, people will not ever agree with anything that you say, ever. Somebody will comment on this video, that microphone that you're using is trash. You should get a better mic. Like that's just the nature of YouTube. And so, like there's like that, or somebody will like comment on my video, hey, this thing that you said is wrong, and this thing that you said is wrong, and actually this thing that you said is wrong. And I'll be like, oh, you're so right. You should start your own YouTube channel and, give everybody that information, your completely correct information. And whether or not that it's true or not, I mean, like sometimes I can accept criticism and be like, oh, you know what? That is wrong. I did mean to say that. I completely get what you're saying, but sometimes it doesn't matter. And it's like something that somebody is just themselves, like just thinking up, like, oh, like when you said that thing, when you said, 0.4, you meant 0.2. And it's just like, okay, thank you for pointing that out. Sometimes, because like the nature of how I record videos, sometimes, because I don't use a script, everything is off the top of my head. Everything that I'm saying right now is off the top of my head. I don't know where I'm going with this. Who knows? And I do it all in one take, and sometimes I get to a point where like, 10, 15 minutes in, maybe I know that I said something wrong in like, the 2-minute mark, but I'm not going to fix it. I'm not going to like go back and, re-record everything again. That's just not the nature of, I want this for my own personal YouTube, the way that I do YouTube. I want this to feel conversational. Like I'm just, I'm a friend that you just happen to be hanging out with. There's no professionalism in anything that I say. Like I might know things, but I don't have a script is what I'm trying to say. And so sometimes I'm wrong. And sometimes when people point out, like in multiple comments, hey, you're wrong about this. Hey, you're wrong about this. Hey, you're wrong about this. Oh, I'm going to comment on another video. Hey, you're wrong about this. I'm just like, why don't you start your own YouTube channel and, never be wrong, in every video. And no, people will never say how you are wrong in any video. Like sometimes it gets to that point where I'm just like, you should start your own YouTube channel. But sometimes I do it in a positive way, and I would like to express that as well. I started this. If you haven't understood by now, this is just going to be a rant video. There's not going to be gameplay in this. There's technically going to be gameplay in this video, but not the kind that you're probably looking for if you're thinking about like, hey, just get to the point. There's a lot of points that I have to get to. There's a heck of a lot of points that I have to get to. I have a lot going on here, and we're going to see all of these. So when I started YouTube, I started it with the idea, Games by the Beach. I will always credit Games by the Beach, Garrett from Games by the Beach, for being the inspiration for why I thought that I could start YouTube. With all the A-Friend Gamings and Godlike Mikes and Aleppos and IB Biscuits of the world, with all of the top, like, I have a level 100 Zeus, I have a level 100 Fortuna, I have a maxed out Kobold. Yeah, I know that Kobold isn't out yet. But they already have it. They already have it maxed out and reincarnated. No, they don't. I mean, they might. They don't. With those people of the world, I always looked at my own account and I was like, I don't have a good enough account. Like, I just got a level 30 Necromancer. I don't even have a Fortuna. I don't even have a Zeus, right? I don't have a maxed out Phoenix, right? I don't have a maxed out Bard. I don't have a maxed out Genie, right? I looked at my account and I said, why would I be able to start YouTube? Like, I don't have all this cool stuff that everybody has. Like, who would follow me, right? And Garrett from Games by the Beach had an account that even at the time looked worse than what my account looked like at the time. I had more advanced things than him. And that alone gave me the inspiration that even though I don't have everything, right? I don't have 7,500 crit, right? Even though I don't have everything, maybe I have something to give to the community. Maybe I have, like, my opinion of this game, because so many people don't talk about this game. They just do straight gameplay. And if you want to do straight gameplay, I will obviously show you how you can very easily do straight gameplay. Momo Royale is, like, famous for it, as the the streamer the YouTube content creator that does strictly gameplay. And I find that most people do strictly gameplay, or they take their lives and then they take, like A-Friend Gaming and Godlike Mike do this all the time, where they take, like, their live, they'll do a live, and then they'll clip out their live, and that is the video. And they do a lot of editing. They have a lot of, like, graphics. And if you've noticed, I don't do graphics. It's just screen record. And this is me essentially saying that two things. One, even if you don't have a high account, even if you don't have all the things, yes, you can do YouTube. You can make a YouTube channel and post about this game that you love. And let's assume, it's not even for this game. I'm not even saying this is strictly for Rush Royale content. I'm saying that this is any phone game content. You can do this with any phone game that you want. I'm not specifically trying to say, make Rush Royale content if you're going to watch this video. You can do whatever you want. I'm just saying that this is how easy it is. And two, even if you don't have, like, a computer and editing software and, graphics and all the things that, like, a Godlike Mike or an A-Friend Gaming, like, that you get from that, where they have graphics and they have, like, a trailer for their, their channel and whatnot, and all of those fancy, like, bells and whistle type things. And if you just have a microphone and a phone, that's all you need. That's all you actually need. And you can make money off of this. And I will go into that as well. That was my intro. And here's all the things that you're going to need. So first off, I want to start with my microphone. And essentially, this is what my microphone looks like. It's a lavalier microphone, and it has a, I believe it's called the 3.5 millimeter. And that's the cable. And this is a adapter because I have a USB-C, I have an Android. And so I bought a secondary adapter. And so if you go to Amazon, I put it in my cart here. You have a couple of options. Now, what I did was so the main thing that you're looking for, it's called a lavalier mic. It's Lavalier. It's a lavalier lapel microphone. it was promoted to me by a YouTube person, and he tested the difference between what his video quality sounded like just, straight from the phone, and then when it was plugged in, and the difference is crazy. The difference between just talking into your phone and the difference between that and using this is insane. And so I immediately bought it. It was $10. And I realized that I can't plug that into my phone because it doesn't have a headphone jack. And so I had to buy this secondary USB-C to 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. You can find a bunch of those. This one is $5. The microphone itself is $10, making the entire purchase $15. Or you can buy a lavalier microphone with a USB-C connection. If I were to do this again, I probably obviously would have done this. It is more expensive, but then you don't need two pieces. I don't know. I mean, like, you're saving $2, or no, you're spending $2 more. I don't know. You can do it either way you want. I'm just saying that if you decide to do it this way, you can, and it works because that's what I do. But I could very obviously see you doing it where it is a USB-C. And so whichever way you want to do it, that is my microphone, and that's basically it. In terms of the app that I use, it's this app called Screen Recorder X Recorder. There's two different versions. I think there's one called Screen Recorder Recorder. The specific one that I use is called Screen Recorder X Recorder. It's a free app. There is technically a paid version of it, but with every single video I've ever done, I've never had to pay for this thing. And the trial, or it's not even a trial. A trial would mean that it ends at a certain point. And this doesn't even have a trial. You can just use the basic version for free. And so when you open the X Recorder app, essentially you will have this. And you have a couple of different options. Mute is obviously going to be no volume. Internal audio is going to be obviously just the phone audio itself. And so if you talk, it will not record anything. Microphone will obviously only record your microphone. But what you want is internal and microphone. And you do want to variate the sound levels so that you can talk over the gameplay sounds. Like, you still want those background gameplay sounds, but you want them lower than what your voice is. And so the perfect volume that I've done in every single one of my videos is the app sound being recorded is 60%, and then the voice sound is 100%. You don't need to go any crazier than that. And that's literally every single one of my videos. What this app does is it gives you this floating ball that eventually will transparent like that. And then you can click on it, and then it'll tell you where you are on the time. You can move this if you want to. I believe if you buy the full version, that basically completely disappears. And there's a couple of other things that that'll happen if you buy the full version. But I'm telling you, if you're here watching my YouTube channel, this is what I've used forever. And so that is the app. That is the microphone. You are obviously going to want to make a you're going to want to download the YouTube Studios app. This is a secondary app that is adjacent to YouTube. They will tell you that you have to download this in order to monetize all of your things. When you go to monetize, I won't go into the steps of all of that because that's a whole different thing that I trust that you will be able to figure out. But when you go into monetize, you'll be able to become a YouTube partner. You can monetize every single one of your videos. So when you go to content, type videos, apply, it'll give you this little green number, the $sign on each of the videos. You can go into edit, and then you turn on monetization. It'll do pre-roll ads, mid-roll ads, post-roll ads. It places it wherever it decides to place it, and that's basically it. And that's how you monetize every single one of your videos. All of your videos are being monetized by just view count, and don't expect to make a lot on doing this. You can, obviously. There are people that make thousands upon thousands of dollars. I'm telling you that at the height of my popularity, at the height of when when my channel started to become popular, I was getting about $100 a month. Just like, and it wasn't it was consistent for maybe 3 months. But I don't do this specifically for the money. The money is the bonus. The fact that you have the ability to make money is a bonus. If you make a lot of money, that is great. But don't let that discourage you from not doing this, or if you can't make $100, don't let that discourage you that your content isn't good either. In terms of like what you will make generally, again, like I said, it's not a lot. This is like all my videos and how much I've made in the past 28 days with all of these videos. 27.0 tier list, I made $2.86, $1.47, 91 cents. But see, all of this adds up. And so far I've added up to $51.55. The payout is for them to send you money that goes usually directly into a bank account, is $100. You have to earn $100, and then the following month or the following pay period, they will send you $100. And that's how it kind of rotates. And so that's that. So you have to download the YouTube Studios app, sign up for all of that. But how do you actually make a video? And that is up to you, honestly. It's screen record is you get to show anything that's on your screen. If you are specifically trying to just make gameplay, like gameplay things, what most people do is they'll go to Rush TV, go into replays. This will go into all of your replays. They just did an update, so all of my replays are gone. Luckily, I recorded a replay. If you wanted to, you could also go into worldwide. You could steal somebody else's content, somebody else's video. Click on your thing, click record, and then all of a sudden your game is playing. This is the amount of audio from a 6100. So you should be able to hear the audio here in the gameplay, but it should not you should be able to very clearly also hear me. That's one of the main things that I see with bad content creators. People that don't re-listen to their videos. I guess that was something that I meant to bring up a long time ago. When I started, just in case you were wondering, like, do I only say, you should make content as a negative? I don't. Sometimes I find people that I want to help, because I think that creating content for something that you love to do, it just adds to the conversation. I think that there's a lot of Rush Royale conversation to be had, specifically if you are going to do content for this game. I think there's a lot of Rush Royale conversation to be had, and I think that a lot of people on YouTube don't like to have that conversation. They give you information, but they don't like to describe the why. Like, why are you doing this thing? Why are you using this strategy? How do you do this thing? A lot of YouTube is just, I'm gonna post gameplay, and then that's it. Video done, I'm done. And if that's what you want to do, again, I always bring it up, Momo Royale proves that it works. It is not the kind of content that I like doing. I don't like just stealing what is essentially stealing gameplay. Just like, this is my content. I'm just going to, record this, and this is my content. But you can. And if you want to, you can. And so what I'll normally do after I record this, or during when I'm recording this, I'll usually get a screenshot. And I'll bring this up as well, because this is something that definitely doesn't matter anymore. So when I do a screenshot, it's usually after when the boss is about to come out, because then a lot of stuff isn't happening on the board, or normally. Usually, like, everything just kind of stops once the boss comes out. If you want to take a screenshot, you can, like when the boss, or, you know, during the gameplay. I just find that it looks very messy. But I'm going to screenshot this really quick. Actually, I'll like speed through this. There we go. So I'll normally take a screenshot. I don't know. You can also 0.5% it, and that will also help. 3, 2, 1. So like, right there. I don't know, something like that. We'll use that later. Something else that I wanted to point out is, a long time ago, back when Rush Royale Tips and Tricks was a YouTube content creator. Oh, never mind. One story first, second story second. Here we go. A long time ago, when Rush Royale Tips and Tricks was becoming a content creator, I guess, you know, like that, this is still related to him as well. When he was becoming a content creator, I watched his content and I thought that he was really good. He was actively talking about the game, which is, again, something that a lot of content creators, YouTube content creators, don't do. And I appreciated that about him. I appreciated that he had an opinion about this game. A lot of content creators, and if you do decide to make content, it's probably best that you don't have an opinion. And because if the less of an opinion that you have, the more followers you will get. And the reason why I know this is because if you say something negative about something that somebody likes, they don't like you anymore. And that's just a regular fact. Most people, if you are trying to build I have 500,000 subscribers, and you say, you know, Treon is awful, like, fuck Treon, I hate that card, right? All of the people who like Treon will unsubscribe to you for no reason. You know, like, that's your opinion. You are entitled to have that. But if you have that opinion, you have to understand that you're going to alienate part of your audience. So the less of an opinion that you have about this game, the better. Because also, something that I found out, it's not even just have a negative opinion, right? Because, like, you could say that, oh, if, you know, like, this game is in a very bad state, and you know, like, the developers are, you know, greedy and they're money hungry, and this is a pay to win game. It's like, oh, okay, so if I want to get followers, all I have to do is just hate the game, right? I just have to, you know, talk about how much I hate the game and how much the game sucks and how the developers are pay to win, right? Or the developers are greedy and the game is pay to win and everything sucks, right? But then you'll also alienate people who do like the game. So you're still alienating people. And so if you notice, most content creators, like a Godlike Mike, like an A-Friend Gaming, they don't have an opinion. They mostly don't have an opinion about anything. They're just like, hey, this is me playing a deck, and this is the deck. Like and subscribe. You know, like, they don't have an opinion about things. They don't have a strong opinion one way or the other. It's just like, you know, like, even when they're asked, like, hey, do you like Demon Hunter? They'll be like, yeah, Demon Hunter's pretty good. You know, like, when you're starting, and, you know, yeah. You know, like, they'll just have, like, that kind of an opinion about something. They won't take, like, a hard stance on anything. And Rush Royale Tips and Tricks, he had the same kinds of opinions, or he was not afraid to share his opinions in the same way that I like. And that's why I gravitated towards, like, his channel, and that's why I gravitated towards wanting to help him be a, like, content creator, streamer in any way that I could. There are other people, when you're starting, that, you know, like, when they would do commentary over their gameplay. And I am thinking about one specific person, but I won't name them. And what was happening was their game audio was so far higher or equal to their speaking volume, and they also decided to add music. So not only did you have music, but you also had game audio, and you also had talking at the same audio levels, and you couldn't understand anything that they said. And that is something that, like, if you are going to talk in games and if you are going to talk over your gameplay, you have to change those levels. That is like my biggest like thing that I can tell you. And yeah, like that is something pretty major. But after you record your gameplay, right? And I'm gonna take a game that I already recorded. It was a Blade Dancer game. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go into your YouTube. There's this little plus button. Ignore my girlfriend. You're gonna click on your gameplay. It's gonna bring up this very awkward, this very awkward screenshot. And what I normally like doing is I will screenshot something like this. And then what I'll do is I'll just zoom in, and that will be my screenshot for the game. Just something to that effect, right? This actually reminded me. I knew that I had a second story, and I couldn't remember what it was, and I was just going to bypass it. At which point I would have gotten the comment, "You never told that second story." But I am going to tell that second story because I just remembered. This just reminded me. A lot of people like, when Rush Royale Tips and Tricks, when Rush Royale Tips and Tricks was making a video, he decided to do a Genie gameplay video on how to play Genie. Because he is the Genie master, he like 100% went all in on Genie, and he knew every single in and out for Genie. So his thumbnail was like, it was very generic. It was just like a Genie, like the Genie, right? He had a blue background. It was something that he created. It was like a blue background. It was like Genie, and it said like Rush Royale. It was very generic, right? It was just like, but it was something that he created himself. Somebody decided to steal that image and use it for his own Genie gameplay video. So it didn't say like Rush Royale Tips and Tricks, how to play Genie on the thing. It was just a generic like Genie and a blue background. It was just something like how to play Genie or something. And I think it said how to play Genie. And somebody stole that from Google Images, just looking up, Genie Rush Royale, found his thumbnail, stole his thumbnail, and then that became like a whole big thing. I realized that because I do this, because I just take a moment from a game that I'm currently doing, like this moment existed. Like a level 6 summoner in this corner, a level 3, a level 2, a level 5, right? Because I do my screenshots like this, nobody can steal this. I never thought about it like that, but I think that's very interesting. Because if you do decide to steal this, people could watch your video and be like, this exact moment never happened in this video. And I think that's kind of really funny copyright while not being, any kind of effort. I just screenshotted, like that's how easy this is to YouTube. I literally just screenshotted a moment in a game, and that is my thumbnail. I don't need to edit. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to have a computer. Like, I'm literally doing my entire YouTube channel from my phone. And then this just becomes my thumbnail. You hit done, you make some funny title, or whatever title, and then you hit next. And then that's it. And that's basically it. That is basically how easy it is to YouTube. You have to like sign up for YouTube Studios. You just get X Recorder off of your app store, Screen Recorder, X Recorder off of your app store, buy a lavalier mic, record. It'll go, you don't even have to edit. You don't have to edit your video. You just have to trust that as you're talking, it just works. Sure, there's like a bunch of ums and ahs and, whatever. Like, a bunch of likes, like that. But that's just how I've decided to choose to do my very casual YouTube channel. And it has enjoyed some amount of success. Like I said, at some point I was making when I was actively trying, and when the game was very, very good and very healthy, I was making $100 a month pretty easily. And it was just, and here's my other bit of advice. And then I'll leave you on this. When you start YouTube and you do your first video, understand that your channel won't gain traction until you do 30 more videos. Simply because nobody knows how to find you. You can't, if somebody just created a YouTube channel right now about rocks, right? About, the history of rocks. How difficult would it be to find that person? The person that just started a YouTube channel right now, and they've made one video about the history of rocks. It would be very, very difficult. Even if you were into rocks, even if you were interested in the history of rocks, you'd probably find somebody that had 2 million followers about the history of rocks, as opposed to that one person who just started yesterday, right? When I first started, and the first, 10, 15 videos that I did weren't doing anything, they weren't getting any traction, I stopped making videos because that was very discouraging. I was I hate this. I'm doing all these videos and nobody cares. Nobody cares about me, right? Understand that you need to do 30 videos. If you do 30 videos, and I'm not saying make 30 bad videos, be proud of every video that you ever come out with. But you have to understand that because you have no content, there is no way for anybody to find you. My clan, Greek Royales, Greek Blades. I thought it was Greek Royals because it's GR, but it's Greek Blades. They have a YouTube channel. I trust you've never seen it because they have 20 subscribers and 5 videos, and they don't have a lot of views. But that's what I'm saying. If you want this to be a thing, you have to make a lot of videos, and you have to just the beginning of your journey is just going to be make content. Make a lot of content. Do not do multiple games. I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't recommend doing just one game here, one game there, one game here. There's a Markiplier, and Markiplier does that, and he's gained notoriety for playing multiple different games. But I think that the easiest way to do this is to specifically make a channel dedicated to one game, because then you will have dedicated people following you because you play that one game. And if you do want to play another game, make a separate channel, which is what Afriend Gaming is doing, because he also realized that nobody cared about Arena Breakout. His Rush Royale videos he has 38,000 subscribers, and his Arena Breakout videos would get 50 views. That's the difference. It's because when somebody follows you when a lot of people follow you for one game, that is the reason why they follow you. They don't follow you specifically because of you. I trust that some people do, but you have to understand that they're following you because you play that one game and because you make content for that one game. And so if you are going to make multiple things, either establish that first and say, I'm always going to play different games all the time. But if you do want to do one game specifically, just do that one game and don't make content for multiple games. If you want to make another YouTube channel where you play multiple different games, then you can do that. But you have to decide very early on what you want to do. But that's it. I feel like that's literally it. It's get a mic, get X Recorder, And that's how I do my thumbnails, and that's how I upload onto YouTube, and that's the amount of money that I make off of this, which is not a lot, but it is something. It is something more than nothing if I wasn't doing this, right? And I don't know, like sometimes you'll find like cool people like Rush Royale Tips and Tricks, and then you'll lose cool people like Rush Royale Tips and Tricks. Man, I miss that guy. I'll catch you guys next video.